And we're here. That's our new little jingle to get the podcast going. Anyways, my name's Chris. You got Hanson Dan Park in the top left, and we're going to be talking about the Conor McGregor and Kebab press conference today, along with a couple of other things. But we'll start off with that, obviously, because that's the most exciting thing of the day. Wouldn't you agree?
I do. I watched the thing twice already. It was
I've
great.
I've actually only watched it once, and I didn't even finish it.
Oh, really? No, I watched.
I was actually watching it just before you messaged me saying, "Oh yeah, keen for the podcast," but yeah, I'm glad I stopped watching it. To be honest, it was pretty cringeworthy.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I was actually literally shaking because I think there's a combination because I had a lot of coffee and it was great. Like I was so into it. I loved it.
Yeah, see, I enjoyed it like I enjoy nails on a chalkboard. It was literally like watching a child yell at a teacher, and like the amount of times Conor McGregor went nah 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 nah. It was like, really, is that your comeback? You're Conor McGregor of all people. You got to have something better than nah nah nah, or making fun of Conor's Kebab's language. Like,
Yeah.
really? Come on, you're smarter than this, Connor. Like, maybe get off the coke for about a week and come up with some better material because that was horrible. That was really bad. I was like, I thought as fans of Connor we deserve better than nah 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 nah. I counted 3 times that he did that because he couldn't think of anything to say back and he just wanted to talk. That's he kept on talking over the top of Kebab instead of just letting him speak, coming up with a good response. He just spoke over the top of him. I'm just like, oh my god, this is so frustrating. And yeah, I only watched the whole thing so I could talk about it here. Otherwise, I would have turned it off immediately.
I
Really,
I
really
agree
couldn't
with you.
care for it.
I agree with you on three things. One, he was very brash, and that's very classic Connor. That's what he does.
Mm.
And being rude about, talking over the his opponents as he's talking, like not giving them the chance to talk. He does that all the time. Number two, that he's on something. Yes, I completely agree with you. You know, a bit of Diet Coke or, something like that.
Just cocaine, man. Just call it cocaine.
And
The
three,
powder of champions.
hmm, and three, this is just classic Connor. It's what he does, and like you said before, it's frustrating. And that's the thing. He's on something, he doesn't give a shit. It frustrates Khabib. He gave him a bit of whiskey, alcohol, and for Muslims, that's a no-no.
Mm.
So, eh, you see how it is.
Yeah. See, I've watched a lot of Connor's press conference. Normally, but he does talk over the top. But he normally talks over the top after listening to something that they've said and then picking on that. This he was just talking over the top because he didn't have anything to say.
Mm.
He wasn't letting he let Khabib speak a little bit, but most of the time he was just trying to talk over the top of him, and it wasn't. I don't know. I watch Conor McGregor's press conferences because they're normally really witty, and that's what I liked about Chael Sonnen. That's what I normally like about Conor McGregor. But this time it was just, oh my god, it was hard to watch. Oh, I hated it. Although he did have some good one-liners, Conor
Mhm.
did. He had a couple of cool ones, like when he was talking about Kebab taking a dump at the back of the bus. I thought that was pretty funny. Like things like
Yeah.
that, yeah, cool, that's funny. But just talking over the top, making fun of like his nationality and what was the other one? Just going yeah 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 yeah. It's like Jesus, what are you 7? Jeez,
Mm.
like my 9-year-old sister has better comebacks than that.
True.
I'm not even joking. She shuts me down all the time. Respect to Helena.
Uh,
So yeah,
no.
that just frustrated me. I expected more.
Mm. I get you. I get you. I can see how you expected more. But to me, this was a classic Connor promotion. Up the fight, he's doing what he does, always reiterating, the date, the time, the venue, what he's going to try to do, etc.
I agree with that 100%. It's classic Connor, but he did classic Connor and dialed it up to about level 20, which is just it's not smart and it's just stupid. It's actually embarrassing. If it was anyone else doing that, you'd be like, this guy's an idiot. But he only gets away with it because he is Conor McGregor. If he was anyone else, people people say he just sounds like an idiot. Whereas
Yes.
previously, the things that he said and did, if anyone else did that, you'd be like, oh my god, that's really smart. But this time, he just got away with what he was doing simply because he's Conor McGregor, not because it was witty or because it was smart, because his name is Conor McGregor.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you.
So
Yeah,
yeah, that
no.
that, that was my that well, not my only gripe. That was my gripe was the entire thing. I love the way uh, Kebab was sitting there and he's just listening, taking it. And he was just talking very calmly as Connor's talking over the top of him. He didn't break his sentence for Connor. He just finished his sentence off and then continued on with it. When he was talking about slapping some guy, he's like, ask him why. Ask him why. He's like, you slap your own countryman. It's like, but ask him why. Like he didn't want to out whoever his mate was in public saying why he slapped him. He just saying, ask him. Ask him. There's a reason for this.
Yes. And this is where I think Khabib fucked up. Like with a child, you don't try to rational, you don't try
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
with a
true.
child, you don't do that. And that's what Khabib did. So that kind of frustrated him because Connor reacted like a child would and just brushed him across. Like they're not having a conversation. So yeah, I think that frustrated Khabib because by the end of it, and one of my best mates is like East European, he's Russian,
Mm.
and they're the type that when they get angry, it's it's kind of common to go all quiet instead of, or like out there.
Ah, yeah.
So that could have been what happened with Khabib. He still maintained his composure. By the same time, he could be angry, but we just don't see it in a sense.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with the whole trying to rationalize with a child. At the start, Kebab was doing pretty good with that and just brushing off everything that he said, not really
Yes.
listening, answering questions from the press row. But then he kind of
But
got sucked
Connor
into it.
stepped in.
Over time, he
Yes.
just got sucked into it.
Yes.
I was
Yes,
like,
he
what are you,
did. Yes,
what are
he
you doing?
did.
Why don't respond? Well, I guess he kind of had to. But did he?
I
I
did
don't
have
know.
to.
No, he did. He didn't.
Yeah.
I guess it's a bit hard. Like it's a lot of pressure being up there, but Kebab handles the pressure pretty damn well. I mean, he had two opponent changes in like a matter of 24 hours at his last
Wasn't it
for
like
his last
three
fight.
or something?
So
Because it was Max
Tony.
Holloway,
First it
and
was
then it was
Tony,
either
Max.
Huh?
Oh yeah, that as well. Yeah, because it started off as Tony
Yes.
and then
Holloway,
Max. Yep,
Pettis,
yep,
then Iaquinta.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that
When
was the.
when was the
I
last
think that
time
was.
a main event fighter had that many changes,
Mm.
or has it ever happened?
I don't think it was like Pettis was set, but it was like, oh yeah, the next one
All the
is
names were in the hat.
Pettis.
All the names were in the hat.
Yeah, the next one is Pettis, or yeah, there, and then yeah, Iaquinta. But yeah, it was interesting.
Oh, it was pretty interesting. That I like Winter when it gets kind of like pushed under the rug a bit. That's a pretty underrated victory because Alaquinta's a good fighter. He's beat some top level guys.
Yeah, he's beat
He's beat Kevin Lee.
Kevin Lee, who I rate pretty high.
I think most people at this point rate Kevin Lee. It's hard not to after what he did to Barbosa. It's like
Mm.
okay, and he took like a clean kick to the dome and
Hmm.
survived it and was able to like manage his way through the fog of being hit with that kick. Like he did the stanky leg a bit, but then he just grabbed onto that leg, took him back down again, went back to business. So
Like,
I think we all rate Kevin Lee.
yeah, here's the thing, right? I could not beat Kevin Lee. He's a good fighter, but I don't rate the guy. He would kick my ass in a fight, but I don't rate him. But he is like a top 10 guy. And at the end of the day, Khabib beat a top 10 guy, with ease, pretty convincingly. So hats off to him.
Not pretty convincingly. He dominated him.
Yeah, he did dominate.
Like just because he stood up with him for three of those 5 rounds. Well,
Yes.
two and a half kind of. Would you say
Hmm.
first round and second round took him down. Third round, fourth round, jabbed him in the face about 100 times, and
Yeah.
then started jabbing him in the face in that fifth round, and then he's like, "Oh, wait a second, I was told to take this guy down, so I might as well take him down." But
Mm,
I feel like that whole fight was so underrated. I mean, he had how many opponent changes in a matter of a week?
yeah.
Only
Yeah.
Connor's had
Like
people
four people.
change, like Connor's had opponent changes before, but he's had 2 weeks to prepare at least.
Mm,
Kebab had literally 20. No,
the
he had
same
like
day.
an hour. Not even. It like after the weigh-ins.
Yeah.
After the freaking weigh-ins.
Mm.
So
That may
that
have been, yeah.
so yeah.
Is
So
that the,
sorry, go.
is that the, how can I say, the biggest opponent change, like, for a title fight?
Yeah,
I
well,
mean, like, time-wise?
that's what I was saying before. That's got to be the most opponent changes any main event fighter has ever had, or any fighter in general. Because normally for like an undercard fight, they wouldn't bother trying to like match them up that quickly. They'd just be like, okay, well, we don't really need that fight. We got a main event. They only
Mm.
did it because they had to save the main event, and that card that card was falling apart quick when Conor chucked that dolly.
No, it was a great card. We all tuned in for Khabib, and yeah.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a great card, but the card was a lot better until it fell apart because what
Yes.
five, no, 4 or 6 fighters had to be pulled off the card.
Hmm.
So yeah, well actually no, I think it was 5 because one half of those fights went towards yeah, because one of the fight was Alaquinta and what's his name? Oh, I love him. Uh, what's his name?
The guy for Perry.
Yeah, I love him, and I can't remember his name. I feel like an absolute douche.
Ooh, let's see. I will find him. Felder. I think
Yeah, it's
Felder.
Paul Felder. That's it. Paul Felder.
Paul Felder,
Now,
that's
I
the one.
rate Paul Felder. He is
I
an
rate Paul Felder.
absolute dynamite, man.
I
Absolute
like watching him
dynamite.
fight. Beautiful stand up.
Did you see what he did to Charles Oliveira? He was getting dominated on the ground the first round, and then in the second round, he's like, "Well, screw this." Took him down and just elbowed the shit out of him until the ref pulled him off.
Got you.
It was grim.
Mm.
Yeah, I rate him. Anyway, so yeah, the press conference. Do you reckon there's anything to take away from that? Like, do you reckon? I don't think Kebab got like
Yeah, I
try
don't think he
like
should.
yeah. I don't think he should. It seemed as though Conor was really trying to shake him though.
Yes.
Like, and that's what I mean, overdoing it. Like, he's obviously not gonna fight him. He's obviously not.
Yeah.
We all know that. That's like getting someone to hold, like saying, "Oh, mate, do you mind just holding me back as I try and threaten this guy?" Nothing was gonna happen, yet he kept on saying, "Let's do it right now." I hate that. We're not that stupid. That's not gonna happen. This isn't pro wrestling. I love pro
Mm.
wrestling. This isn't pro wrestling. You're not gonna fight at the press conference. It's not gonna happen.
Yes.
There are laws in
But
this world.
yes, and like no matter what we say, Connor still won that press conference. I feel
Yeah, he was always gonna win the press conference. If he
he
lost it,
still
then that would have been kind of worrisome.
yes, and he still like did the intended thing. We're all talking about it. More eyes on the seats.
Yeah,
It's all good.
we're talking about it. I'm talking about it despite the fact that I was really not entertained. So
Mm.
yeah, well he did his job. Um, yeah, so that I guess that we'll leave it on that. There's not really too much more to say about it. They just Connor was like yelling like a what are those really loud dogs? Those tiny loud dogs?
Chihuahuas.
Yeah, that's right. He's just howling like a freaking chihuahua. Khabib was like, "Oh, you know what? When a chihuahua barks me, I'll bark very softly back at it." It's like, what are you doing?
It was odd for me watching their face off because they're similar size. Whereas
Um,
every single fight I've seen Conor, aside from Nate Diaz's one, he's the bigger man.
yeah, yeah. Well, against Eddie, he was roughly the same size.
No, no, he was the bigger man.
They were the same height.
No,
They'll
no, no, he was taller than Eddie.
check their height. I
Mate,
can.
it doesn't matter what that thing says, right?
It just
Watch the face off. Connor's bigger, and
just
he's
because it's
taller.
because he stands putting his chest out.
No, no, from head to head.
Yeah, because he was standing putting his chest out, whereas Eddie he has more of a crouching stance. They're definitely the same height. Anyway,
I
but
don't believe so.
in, reg-
Eddie's a short man.
in regards to this though, like Connor was wearing a suit. Kebab wasn't, and they looked of similar size. So like that suit adds on a lot more puffiness.
True, I didn't think of that.
Kebab was
But
wearing a skin tight top, so that was his genuine size. Connor was wearing something making him look a little bit bigger.
but
So
even then, like,
just imagine how big he actually is in comparison to Connor when they actually square off.
I don't think there will be that much of a difference in all honesty because you look at the suit that Connor's wearing, and there's these really slim suits. Like I have thick suits, like the normal ones, but I also have really slim summer suits, which are like very breathable. But I completely get what you're saying, and you might be 100% right.
No, it's probably thin material, it's breathable, but it still gives off a boxy like look to it.
Yeah, that's
It's still a
true. That's
much
true.
boxier look to it. It fills you out a lot more. Like I've got a few suits that are very slim. They make me look slimmer than the non-slimmy suits. But if I'm wearing a skin tight top or a suit, I'm gonna look skinnier in a skin tight top than I
Yes,
am in a suit.
that's true. That is true.
So I don't
That is
know.
true.
When I looked at that, I'm like, oh, I think well, Kebab's definitely a shitload bigger. And plus, Kebab's weight cut for lightweight is pretty drastic, whereas Connor, it's
Ah, he would have bulked up,
just not
mate.
as hard.
He would have bulked up.
Hard to
Connor
bulk
would have
up when you're
bulked up.
snorting coke 24/7. You need some actual consistency to your meals.
It's
The Connor fast, it's just coke and water. All right. I'll stop talking shit about Connor. I do love his antics. I think that's why I was so disappointed with this one. Most other people that I've spoken to, they love it. You love it. I just thought it was as I said, it's like a barking chihuahua, just a lot of noise, no substance.
which is not untrue. I just find it entertaining.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Which that's most people that they do find that entertaining. Which is why I'm like, why don't these people that find this entertaining, why don't they find pro wrestling entertaining? Because
Oh,
this whole press
I love pro
conference
wrestling.
that was fake. None of that was real. Just like all Connor's other press conferences, he talks all this shit, but then afterwards he's got so much respect for the guy because he just had to build up the fight. That's what he does. But everyone gets sucked into the fact that, oh, what he's saying, he actually means it. No, afterwards he's going to apologize to the guy. He's going to be like, no, he was a great fighter, this and that. It happens every time.
Hmm.
That's why I'm like, why don't they? Everyone talks shit about pro wrestling. At least in pro wrestling, they admit to it. In this, they're calling everything it's as real as it gets. The old like UFC slogan, as real as it gets. That was as fake as it gets.
So when you say fake, can you clarify a bit? What do you mean? As in the scripted, conference, or what do you mean by fake?
No, just
As
like
in,
the animosity towards one another.
yeah, they're projecting that there's more at stake than there actually is, which I agree with you.
Mm.
Mm.
You definitely worded it a lot better than I did, a lot quicker than I did too. So thanks for that.
No, all good. But yeah, I completely agree with you on that point. Aside from that, the biggest news before this
Oh
was John
yes,
Jones.
yes. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm so frustrated at this. Like, what the hell? He's it's two that's two infractions now. Two. He's got busted twice.
Is it two or three? I'm not too
The
sure.
cocaine one doesn't count because they weren't supposed to be testing for cocaine.
Okay.
But it came up. They released it to the public. but it's irrelevant because they weren't supposed to be testing for it.
Got you. Two fractures related to
PEDs,
steroids. Yeah.
PEDs,
It's,
PEDs. Can't say steroids because the first one was an estrogen blocker.
and the only reason a guy would use an estrogen blocker is for
because
post-cycle therapy,
he's
which is
so manly. He is so manly that he needs to block. Wait, that makes no sense. No, he's so girly that he needs to block his shit.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
no, he got away with saying it was a tainted supplement.
Ah, it's bullshit.
Yeah. Well, at first, like I was kind of like, okay, yeah, all right, I'll believe that. But then he got busted for a second time, and then that's where I'm like, okay, how are all these other people not getting busted?
Mm.
But he somehow makes. He's probably the second or third biggest earner in the UFC, but he can't get someone to organize his supplements.
Whichever doctor he has is doing a bad job. All right. Let me ask you this question. Tell me what you think on the balance of probabilities. Not saying 100%. If you have a person, right? This is their character, personality. They do coke, drugs, very fake, show as a goody two shoes, cheats on his wife, things like that. Now imagine that your livelihood, that your standard of living is based on your performance in a certain field. Would you imagine that someone of that character, someone who would have a car accident, run away, and then come back to the car accident to get his marijuana? Nothing against marijuana, but the fact is he went back to the car accident to grab his shit and then fled again. That makes it worse. Would someone like that, in your view, if their livelihood and standard living, was at stake there, would use performance or use a drug to increase their performance, to increase the chances of them succeeding at whatever the job they're doing?
Well, if I'm to be completely honest, I don't know. I'm not going to answer for that person. But if I had a gun to my head, I'd say, yeah, fuck yeah, of course they would.
Of course they would. Of course they would.
It's one of those things. Charles Sonnen said it best when he said, if you're willing to put something in your body that's going to harm it, why would you not put something in it that's going to enhance it?
Of course.
If you're going to put coke into your body, why wouldn't you put performance enhancing drugs into your body? I mean, if you're willing to do something like that, why wouldn't you go the other side of the coin?
Yeah. Did you also hear the only reason why I think he was given a 13-month suspension,
15.
But it was halved. Listen to me. 13-month suspension, which was halved because he outed, a fellow athlete who's using, or
a supplier,
his drug source or a supplier. That's the reason why, it's 15. It's originally 30 that went decreased by half. That's what I heard, I believe.
Yeah, I saw that on a little tweet or something like that. I don't know how reliable that source is though. I didn't recognize who it was. Maybe it's pretty reliable.
But it is. They're saying it's in that clause. John Johns is the first person who's done it. So he's not being, how can I say, like, Yoel Romero, where they go, oh, it's the source of tainted supplements or whatever. They're saying, oh, he actually used, and the sentence is 30 months, excuse me, and we're, bring it down to 15 years because he's working with us. 15 months, and yeah.
Yeah, well,
it sucks.
He did what he had to do to get out of his punishment.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
And hey, at the end of the day, I'm going to watch his fights because
I agree.
It doesn't matter what he's done. When he fights, he's still the best display of mixed martial arts on the planet.
I disagree. But I will watch him fight. I don't think he's the best display of mixed martial arts on the planet.
we'll quickly say who yours is, and then we'll continue on with the conversation.
I
I
think there's a lot of other people who are better than him at mixed martial arts. GSP, Demetrius Johnson, a lot of people are better than John Jones at mixed martial arts. He's in a shallow division. He's in a very shallow division.
so was Demetrius Johnson.
Yeah, Demetrius Johnson, GSP, a lot of other people are better than him at mixed martial
GSP
arts.
was the only one that wasn't in a shallow division. That was stacked at that point in time. Anderson was in a shallow division. That was really shallow. When you're fighting Patrick Cote and Talis Latus, Damian Maya on a one fight winning streak. Who else was there? There's one more, I think. Maybe that was it. Oh, and then you had to go up and fight James Irvin at light heavyweight. Anyways, yeah, sorry. Yeah, well, not including GSP because he's kind of not really fighting. He just fights whenever there's someone that he considers a weak champion.
There's
So,
a lot of people I think
but
are
right
better
now,
than him.
present day, I feel like
In
he,
terms of skill, we're not talking about, taking into consideration body. We're just talking about skill set. And
yeah,
yeah, I think a lot of people are better.
I think skill set wise, like if you say his boxing compared to someone else boxing, yeah, that's probably better. I'm talking overall, he's got the
Yes,
most
overall
over
skill
round
set
skill set.
wise. Yes, overall skill set wise, yes. There's a lot of people who are better than John Jones, I believe.
I think if you go overall, GSP still doesn't because GSP couldn't submit guys every time he put some. He would always fail any submissions. Whereas John Jones, he catches a submission, he's breaking something or he's putting you unconscious.
Against lesser men. That's the whole point.
Well, yeah,
I
of
can do
course,
the same thing
and anyone you beat is going to be a lesser man, of course.
against lesser men in comparison to the people that GSP beat.
Like Dan Hardy.
Dan Hardy, yeah, I don't rate Dan Hardy.
Jake Shields, who had only
I do rate Jake Shields.
he
I rate Jake Shields. Jake Shields is very underrated.
he's
He's way off his prime now, but Jake Shields, I rate him.
he's a guy that only had jiu-jitsu. His wrestling was subpar, but
Hmm.
his jiu-jitsu was phenomenal. When he got guys down, that was it. It was done. But he had no stand-up. If you've ever seen his stand,
Yes, I
like
agree.
it was always like comedic. But and
Yes.
so saying that GSP beat him being one of his big wins, that's kind of like
I'm not saying it's
no.
one of his big wins. That's not what I said. I
I'm
just
going
say
because
that I rate him.
I'm going through GSP's list right now. You
All
got
right,
Matt
GSP.
Serra.
No, I don't rate Matt.
That's already three of his, what was it, 10 fight title streak. There was Kozchek. Kozchek, yeah, that was a good win.
Koscheck's a good one, yeah. Koscheck was good in his prime.
There was
I rate
Nick
Hendricks
Diaz.
a lot at his prime.
He lost that fight though. Let's be
I
real.
think he lost it too.
When he
Um,
finally got a real fight, he lost it, but the judges are like, ooh, we'll give
I
it to
rate
him.
Matt Hughes.
I rate Matt
I
Hughes
rate
too.
Matt Hughes a lot.
I love Matt Hughes. I feel like he's forgotten now.
Mm. But anyways,
No,
what did I want
who
to
else was
say
there?
about John
Condit. I
Jones?
rated Condit at that point in time.
Yeah.
I always rated Condit. I thought he was underrated as hell.
Yeah, the guy has like no takedown
Wrestling.
defense.
Yeah. Well, that's true, but he was always able to get back to his feet. He has no takedown defense, but he has good wrestling to get back up. He was always able, not always, but majority of the time when guys took him down, he normally got back up, or he was able to use his submissions to finish it.
Mm. The thing that I believe that John Jones has over other people in his division is body. He's been blessed with a better body.
I think
Ooh.
that definitely plays a big part, but obviously size isn't everything. You need the skills to go with it. If you don't
Yeah,
have the skill, you need the skills to be able to maneuver that huge frame. If you don't have the skills, then that huge frame is useless. There's been plenty of guys of that size that can't implement like a game plan as well.
what's that skyscraper's name? The guy who beat
Oh my
Stipe?
God, yeah, Stefan Struve.
Stefan Struve, yeah.
The only like he's been fighting for how long and he still doesn't have a jab. How can you be 7 foot tall and not jab
Dude,
people?
Mark Hart knocked him out so bad. It was insane. It was awesome.
That was a great fight though. He like got to give him credit. He made that fight fun.
Mark Hart had to jump. Bang. Beautiful knockout. I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, and not literally knocked him like a meter and then fell to his feet, and his head was like
Mm,
all curved up against the cage. It's like, oh, did he
mm,
just kill Stefan Struve? And was that his tooth flying into the audience?
mm. Did you hear Mark saying he wants to retire in Adelaide?
That'd be cool. I
That's
might I
interesting.
might actually go watch that one.
Yeah. Good old Mark.
Yeah.
He's fought no one but killers.
Sorry?
He's fought no one but killers. Like you look at
I
his
know.
resume.
Like he's only like his easiest fight was probably Sean McCorkle, and he lost.
Yes.
He lost via Kimura.
Oh man. Holy shit.
Yeah, no, he's fought animals, absolute
Yeah.
animals. But yeah, John Jones, man, like that. It's I get it. He had a shortened sentence, but it just annoys me that guys getting like a first offense are getting 2 years.
Yeah.
John only got 1 year for his first offense, and now he's not even getting 2 years for his second offense.
It shows that the UFC has sway on USADA, and I 100% believe that because you want to do your job, but at the same time you don't want to fuck over your employer. It's like
Oh yeah,
it's
because
like yeah, go.
USADA works for the UFC, don't they? They're not like a separate entity. They are part of the UFC.
Mhm. It's like being an auditor. As an auditor, like you don't want to be really good at your job. You don't want to have, you go to your customer and they tell you everything. You just want them to tell you enough. Do your job. Oh yeah, everything looks good. All good. And that's it. Because then you have a repeat customer. Because when you do your job really, really well and fuck over your customer, because all companies have some shady shit going on,
Mm.
look, you lose a customer. Like I'm gonna move on. So, mm,
Yeah, yeah, no, it really isn't good.
mm,
It's just it's just sad seeing this now.
mhm.
Like, it's not that I want John Jones to be out of a job. It's just that I want all these
It's not fair.
yeah, it's not fair.
I get you. It's not fair.
These rulings have to be consistent, and they're not.
Yes, and they're not. I agree.
So it's like, why have them there? If you're gonna let like the guys with a bigger name get away with more things,
Mm,
then just don't be there. Because then the guys at the bottom that are getting busted for things that don't have the money
yes.
to go without fighting, they're the ones that are really getting screwed over. These guys making all the money, they're doing fine. He made a mill in his last fight. The guy at the bottom making fucking 20 and 20, and then losing, so he only makes 20.
Yeah.
Come on.
It kind of sucks because what happens is the guys on the top can afford to get the best doctors, to get them on the best designer shit, to get them on the best, performance enhancing medicine, drugs. It kind of sucks because it's counterintuitive in a sense because the guys on top stay on top because they can afford the better things.
Mm.
But at the same time, it's like if you're a guy on the lower scene and you get caught, you took the chance. You got to own up to it. You can't be like, oh, but he's getting a lesser sentence or hmm. But I
Well,
get you.
you,
It's
you
not
can't you
fair. It
can't do
should
that,
be
but you should be able to do that. Like if someone's getting a lesser sentence, it's bullshit.
It is
It's,
bullshit. I
it's
agree
it's
with you.
not cool. If someone's doing the exact same thing but they're getting a lesser sentence, it's like if I don't know if I walk into a shop and I steal like some chewy and then I go to prison and then some other guy like fucking I don't know George Clooney walks in steals a chewy and he's like I'm sweet. Like come on
Yeah,
man,
it,
you
it
did the exact
sucks.
same fucking thing.
Yes, it sucks.
That was a
But I
horrible.
agree with
That's
you. It
it's
should
a
be
horrible
consistent.
example. Horrible example that I just gave. But
But I get you.
yeah,
I get
I'm
you.
just trying to get my point across.
Hmm.
Why'd I pick George Clooney? I don't know. Maybe because he's a pretty attractive dude.
And rich as fuck. So
Hey, well, there we go. There we go. I could have chosen Brad Pitt, but I don't know. His face looks weird now.
you look too similar to Brad Pitt, mate. We can't choose him.
Sorry.
You look too similar to Brad.
In his younger days, not these days.
Oh man.
And yeah. Oh, all right. So that's all we have. Oh wait, no. All right. Now we have to speculate. UFC
Hmm.
230. Is John Jones going to be the main event? And if so, who's going to fight? Stipe, Cormier, or Gustafsson?
I'm not too sure, mate. What do you think?
I think the fight. I don't think Cormier's going to fight him because Cormier's got a bigger fight lined up where he's going to make a shitload more money than he fights John Jones.
Yes, that's true.
Uh, Gustafsson, I feel like that's a bit of a harder fight, so why come off a suspension fighting him?
That's true.
And Stipe just got knocked out, meaning maybe he can get knocked out again.
That is true. That's I didn't think of that, and that's actually a compelling matchup.
It's definitely a hard matchup. Had he not been knocked out previously, then I would say Gustafsson over Stipe because that would make Stipe the harder matchup. But seeing as he's been knocked out, there's been a blueprint written that isn't going in an
Jones
absolute
can't use
war
that
like JDS.
blueprint. He
Sorry.
can't use that blueprint.
Well, no, he's got a different frame, but he's got smart coaches. He's a pretty smart. He's smart when it comes. He's like a savant when it comes to fighting. So I'm sure he can figure out a way to implement his own way of doing something similar.
Yes.
So yeah, what do you think? Do you reckon, I'm personally, I think it's going to be Stipe because I feel like that's got more money in that fight. It's got like he doesn't have a title right now, so why go fight a light heavyweight? Why not come back, juice to the tits? He hasn't been tested yet, anyways.
Yeah, he didn't get tested while under what do you call it?
Yeah,
It's
he
insane.
didn't get tested while he was on suspension, not
Oh,
once. Yeah, you know who got tested like 13 times?
DC?
Yes.
That's insane. Man, that's fucking insane.
That's why DC in an interview he said, USADA, you are no longer allowed to test me. Do not come to my doorstep anymore. No longer. You are not going to catch me for doing drugs. I do not do that. You're not going to catch me for doing drugs and then saying, oops, I must have taken a tainted supplement. Do not come to my doorstep. I've done this 70 times. I've never made a mistake. I'm not going to start now. Go
Mm.
away.
Man, I feel for DC. I really like the guy.
Yeah,
I
I like
hope
the guy
Stipe
too.
knocks him out. I mean, not DC. I mean, I hope he knocks out John Jones.
Yeah, if they fight again, I want to see it at heavyweight.
I can see like a heavyweight knocking out John Jones because I don't think Jones particularly has like a granite chin or anything.
He has a
Like he
good
has a
chin.
good chin,
He has, yeah.
but not granite. You know what I mean? Like a heavyweight will knock him out if he lands.
I feel like now that because he kind of, I think his first fight where he got cracked was against Machida. That was the
Hmm.
first fight where he actually copped a real punch, and he took it pretty well. And then after that, since that, he's kind of relied on his chin a bit, so he cops punches to get into certain places. He did it against DC as well. He copped a lot of uppercuts, and he just took him. He wasn't concerned about it. But if he
Hmm.
does something like that against Stipe's punches are a lot more accurate than that, man. That
Man, I want to see Ngannou versus Jones. Fuck
Oh
yes.
shit! Oh
Fuck yes.
shit! Maybe Ngannou if Ngannou can win a few more fights, he needs that confidence back. And he's fighting
Yes.
Curtis Blades, so he's gonna lose that confidence again. He needs
I
to
want
fight
to see the
after Curtis Blades.
Ngannou that swings like this, just rah, rah.
Jesus, imagine that.
Oh fuck.
I still feel like we got Jib not seeing Rumble Johnson and John Jones.
Yes, that's a good one. Fuck. If Rumble comes back, fights Jones, that'd be fucking fun. At heavyweight.
That would be
Fuck,
delightful,
that
man.
would be
Have
fun.
you seen
That would be
Rumble
so
Johnson
much
these
fun.
days? Have you seen
Huh?
Rumble? Have you seen Rumble these days?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god, go on his Instagram account. It's scary. It's like, dude, what? You were a welterweight? He looks like a super heavyweight now, but only with muscle.
Rumble Johnson
He
Instagram.
he kind of he kind of looks like a skinny Bob Sapp.
Skinny Bob Sapp. Fuck fucking Bob. This fucking huge guy.
Oh, Bob Sappy Sapp, my
Competitive
hero.
body development.
So what do you reckon, Stipe?
The
That's
guy
that's
is
the pick.
juiced as fuck.
Juice to the tits.
He is not making any. Actually, it depends. Like most Half-Life for a cycle would be about a year or something.
Hey Dan,
That's the longest one. Yeah.
you know a lot about cycles.
Yes, I do. I I
Just
studied it
saying.
quite.
Just saying.
Mm,
Hey Dan, you've
hmm
put on a lot of muscle over the past couple of years.
I'll take the compliment, mate.
Anyways, so yeah, my pick is Stipe. I reckon that's gonna happen because Stipe wants to
Yeah.
fight soon.
Well,
That's
any
a
of them
that's
is
a big fight.
just fun fights.
Yeah, yeah, definitely
Mm,
fun fights. Gustafsson, that'd be really fun. But Gus,
mm,
man, he needs to start fighting more guys. He needs to go on a winning streak. He fights once every year, and he has win loss
yeah.
win loss win loss win loss. It's like, dude, stop calling
Yeah,
out for
but he's
title
only
shots.
lost against the best.
Yeah, he's only lost against the best, but still get some wins before you start
Yes,
calling guys out saying you're more deserving than anyone else. Like you're
I
not.
agree
There's
with you.
guys in your division that have three, like they've gone out there, they won 3 fights in a row. They're more
I
deserving. They've
agree.
been fighting top contenders. You haven't. You fought the
They're more
champions and lost.
deserving, but not they're not necessarily better. Like Anthony Smith, he's not beating Gustafsson. He's not better than Gustafsson. It's yeah.
I've slept on Anthony Smith too many times now, man. So I don't. I'm not saying he can't do anything. I'm going to stop saying that because yeah, he's proven himself
All right,
against
mate.
like aging vets. So all right.
Mm.
So do you have to go now?
Yeah,
Because
so
okay.
I'm about to go to the
Oh no.
gym.
So we can't talk
Speaking
on
of fun,
the last topic.
which is
We're going to talk about Woodley
let's do it.
and his
Let's
win.
talk about Woodley.
What do you think of his win?
I liked it. I liked it. I thought his choke. I never would see that dark choke working, but he pulled it off, and yeah.
Yeah, well, it's his second Darstroke victory.
Oh, is it? That's
Yeah,
interesting.
he's won one I think early, like in his second fight. Let me have a quick look.
Hmm.
Let me have a quick look. In his third fight, he won via Darstroke. In his third ever fight.
Yeah, my
Uh,
stock of what's his name Till went down because yeah, like Kamaru Usman, if he fights Kamaru Usman or he fights like Kobe's or like Ben Askren, he's gonna get fucked.
yeah, if he fights Colby, Colby will fuck him up real bad because Colby, like, um, Woodley's style, like he doesn't aggress that much. He's more of a counter fighter. So he'll counter you with a takedown, he'll counter you with a strike. Whereas Colby, he just attacks. He just goes forward. So he'll just
Yes.
push Till to the cage, grab a hold of a leg or two legs or the waist, something, drag him to the ground, and just maul him until Till has nothing left.
Yes.
So yeah, he's not going to do too well against any more of the top guys. Like that, or maybe he will. I
Any
mean,
of
this
the
is he lost he
wrestler
lost to Woodley of all people, and he didn't get taken down. He got knocked down.
That's true. That's true.
So who knows? I don't know. We might be over examining this, but one thing you can't over examine is when the fight did go to the ground, Till looked like a white belt next to a black belt.
Yeah, because he is a white belt. And
Yeah, whether he is or he isn't, you can't be at that level fighting for titles and be at that and be at that level in jiu-jitsu. I mean,
yes.
he had that underhook sitting there. It is common knowledge that the counter to an underhook from half guard is a Darce choke. That's
Hmm.
that's like the first way to learn a Darce choke. That's
Yeah.
step one in learning a Darce choke from that position, and then you can start doing it from other positions. But you first learn it from on top in half guard when the person gets the underhook to get back up.
Hmm. And this is where Till fucked up. He fucked up in two ways. Number one, in the striking aspect. He This is what DC said, which I completely agree with him. He just throws out the uppercut and then comes in for a right hand. But
Mm,
what that does is it leaves you open. So see how open I am as I'm loading my right hand?
yeah.
Bang. How it should be is you're here. Okay, I'm defending myself. I throw a jab. Once I throw the jab, the other person reacts, the other cover up or try to parry. And then once the jab touches, you establish your range. You just shift your body like this, not like crazy. Just shift a bit, just so that your head is away from the hit point. So if the guy throws back, bang, and then you throw the uppercut and then throw the right hand.
Yeah.
That's how it should be. And I completely agree with you about what you said. Till from half guard looked absolutely clueless. What he needed to do off that was bring his ass up and get to his knees. And then he could like get a sweep or something. But yeah, you're right. You can't fight for titles while you're like a white belt on the ground. It's just
No, not when you sit there with an underhook from half guard, pretty much waiting to get choked. It's just that was bad. One thing I have to give him credit for though, he did have good guard retention or good half guard retention because Woodley he was doing like basic passes. Woodley was very basic passes, just nice little knee slices to get out of guard into half guard, and then from half guard, well no, sorry, from half guard to mount, like he took mount with a knee side control and then mount with the knee slice, and then Till's movement quickly got his legs back under him and got half guard back. That was good. It was good doing that, but yeah, just the way he sat there with that underhook, man. I understand why he went for it. He went for it to get back up. He was probably rocked. I mean,
no. I do the underhook off half guard. It's the right thing to do,
it's
but
100% the
you
right
need to
thing.
move.
Yeah,
You need to move afterwards.
You need to do more than just put your hand there, because if you're just putting your hand there, you're setting yourself up in a choke.
Yes.
But all he did, and once again, probably over-examining it like people did with Conor McGregor being choked out by Nate Diaz. Conor was tired. He was rocked. He was in a number of different things in his head. He got choked out that easily because of that. And this could be a similar situation. The only reason I don't feel like it was is because I feel like Till had recovered by that point.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you.
So yeah, that's what I say about that. And just quickly, where does this put Tyrone in the top 3 welterweights of all time? Because you got GSP at the top, and then you got either Woodley or Hughes. I still put Hughes above Woodley, but where would you say he is?
That's a tough one, but I agree with you. GSP definitely on top of Woodley. Yeah, Hughes or Woodley for number 2. We'll have to think, talk about it.
Yeah, we might touch on that another time. For me personally, it's Hughes, just because he had a much longer tenure in welterweight, did a lot more in welterweight, went on 2 title streaks. So, and he fought the best at the time as well. Like in terms of who's the better fighter, I'd say Woodley. I mean, I'm not going to argue that. I'm just asking who had like the better like legacy.
Yeah.
For Hughes, I feel like he genuinely did fight the best competition there was available.
And so is Woodley.
Yeah, I'm not saying Woodley hasn't. I'm just saying Hughes did it for longer. So you can't say that because Woodley's fighting the best, that is why he is over Matt Hughes. Matt Hughes did fight the best at the time.
Yes.
Like there's a guy named Gil Castillo that's on his record, and everyone's like, who is that guy? That's a guy that fought for the middleweight title previous to fighting Matt Hughes. So that's a guy that he went down division, so you're fighting a bigger guy that is already fought at that level. So, and Sakurai, that's another name that guy was on a killing streak before he fought Matt Hughes, and then Matt Hughes put him away with ease, absolute ease. Carlos Newton, first fight, very like it was kind of controversial. They both knocked each other out. Second fight, dominated him, not an issue. He got caught in an armbar at one point in time, but he only put himself in the armbar to get off the bottom, escape the armbar, get on top. Kept on pounding him. That was all that happened in that second fight. Anyways, I said we're going to talk about it later, but I decided to talk about it now. All right, you got places to be.
Thank you.
All right, well that was good, man. Do you have anything to say?
No, thanks for watching and
all of our 2 fans out there.
All good. It's just a bit of fun.
Yep.
Thank you.
Like, share, subscribe this video. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the good stuff. The song that I played at the start, that might be our intro music from now on. Tell us what you think. It was by, I'm trying to find the guy's name. Andrew Huang, Huang. Huang. That's his name. Yes, that's where I got the music from. Yeah, that's it. We went a bit longer this time. We just figured we'd talk. Screw it. Trying to like limit the conversation to a time limit kind of destroys the conversation altogether. So just thought, screw it. We'll have a bit of fun with it. Anyways, love you all a long time. So does Handsome Dan Park. Peace out.
Bye-bye.